Hello there folks, Cranky old Cuber here. Today I've got a tutorial for the WitEden Oskar 3x3 Mixup and also a walkthrough solve. This tutorial assumes you know how to solve a 3x3 cube. You may have seen my review of this cube, so you might know a little bit about it, but let me show you a little bit about how it works. So it works just like a 3x3 cube. So these layers turn just like you would expect. It's not a super great speed cube, but that's okay because not everything needs to be a speed cube, right? The other thing that is interesting about this is you can turn these middle slices 45 degrees, and now you can do this. Pretty cool, huh? What that means, because of that, is we now have a center where an edge went, and we have an edge where a center goes. So that makes for some interesting solving. So there's a few things you need to know how to do. All right. One of them is just exchanging centers and edges is pretty easy just by doing 45-degree turns. One thing to keep in mind is you can always use an edge insertion algorithm to put a center exactly where you want it without moving anything else. So what we got here is I'm going to put this center right here on this edge. So I'm just going to use the beginner's method edge insertion algorithm right here. See the lockups? And now I've put that edge right there. Okay, another thing that you need to know how to do on this guy is rotate a center, or really for our purposes an edge, because these centers are symmetrical so you can't tell if they're rotated. But what can happen is your center, your edge, can actually get rotated and give you a case that looks an awful lot like a parity you shouldn't even be able to get, right? Like, what's that? One flipped edge? You can't get that on a 3x3. Well, it turns out you actually can. If you can get that edge into a spot where a center goes and somehow turn it around, you totally can. So the way I do this, all right, is I put it in a center spot over here, right? And then I just use this slicing algorithm where I slice this middle down. I bring that center over. I push it up where that center was. I use this to turn it. Then I bring it back down. I bring the original center back over and I put it up. And so that will rotate your edge. Okay. That's a 90-degree rotation. If you need to do a 180-degree rotation, all you have to do is rotate this top 180 degrees before you put the corner back. So let's go ahead and fix our edge again. Okay. So we're going to bring this down like that. Okay. I'm going to bring that edge over here. We're going to put it up in the U layer and we're going to turn it this way so it matches. Purple here, blue here. We're going to put that guy down, and now we'll pull our original center back over there, put it back up, undo this, turn that because we turned it counterclockwise once, and away you go. Okay, so that is how you rotate one of these centers. And you probably know how to do that if you've solved other kind of shape mods. So scrambling it, interesting. What I normally do when I scramble this guy up, and I'll just go ahead and do it, is I scramble it like a 3x3. And then once that looks pretty good, that looks reasonable, then you just start pulling your edges out and swapping them around with corners. And I keep saying corners when I mean edges. And it basically ends up looking pretty horrible like this, right? I mean, that looks broken. Not exactly, but it looks pretty bad. And then what can happen is you can get your centers all mixed around to where you don't even know like what's opposite of what anymore. And if you don't pay attention, you lose track of what goes where. Fortunately, we have these corners here that can tell us what goes where. So anyway, that's a reasonably good scramble. That looks pretty bad. So why don't we go ahead and solve it? So what I do during the solve is I first get it back to cube shape, okay? And what I do in order to do that is I get centers back where centers go, and I get edges back where edges go, okay? And while I'm putting the centers back together, I will also make sure that the right ones are opposite. And then, so finally you get down to a place where you have centers where they go, edges where they go, but the edges are all pointing weird. And so then the next thing I do is I rotate the edges so they're all facing the correct direction. Okay. So once we're done with that, then we have it back in cube shape. Then at that point, we solve it like a normal 3x3. The parity that you will get looks a little bit like a 4x4 PLL parity. So you've basically got only two swapped edges, right? And as I showed you earlier, if you have a single flipped edge, then you do not have a parity. All you have is a edge that needs to be rotated. Parity happens, so you have two swapped edges. I don't know what I'm pointing at here because it's not there, but you get down, you're done with the solve, and it looks like 4x4 PLL parity where you have two swapped edges and that's it. So this can happen. It's interesting. It happens because what you've done is on one of the middle layers, just pick one because it doesn't matter. But on one of the middle layers, you have all of the corners and slots where edges were, and you have all of the edges and slots where corners were. And so you basically need to do a 1/8 rotation of everything on that slice, and any of the slices will work. You just have to pick one and do it. Once you do that, that will fix the parity and cause you to, and enable you to be able to solve the cube. First thing I want to do is, well, let's see. We have blue and pink, and so if we just turn that, now we have four centers in the right place, right? Well, let's put this white center. Actually, let's put this purple center opposite our pink here, all right? And we'll just do that by, oh, come on. All right, let's get it lined up again. So our pink center is here, and we want to put this purple center here. So what we have to do is we have to put that where an edge goes. Okay. Now we're going to do the beginner's insertion algorithm. And so we just go push that over, down, hold that. Hopefully what we've done there is we've put it in the wrong spot. All right, do that again. It's easy to get misaligned on this thing. So now they are opposite each other. Okay, so we've got the purple and the pink are opposite each other, and now we need to make the green, interestingly, and the blue opposite each other. Well, that means that this green needs to go here. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to take that guy and put it over there. Then we're going to move this green down into an edge slot. Okay, so we're going to put the green here, and that will put it opposite of the blue. So we just do our standard beginner's insertion algorithm here. Now we have our four centers along the middle axis here set, and they're all good. So now we need to take, and we're going to put this white edge center here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take it, put that there, and now I'm just going to insert that center into that edge slot. What we have here is we have everybody in a center spot, and it probably correct, but hard to say. Nope, not. So we're going to put this gray center here. And so that means this corner is in play, which means that if purple is here, we want green here. So we'll fix that in a minute. We need to swap the green and the blue, but that's okay. So what I want to do is put this guy here. So what I do is I pull that over, right? Now we're going to do the insertion algorithm. So we go over, up, over, down, over, again, up, down, and now we have all of our centers, where centers go. Now they're not correct, but they're where they go. Cool. Okay, so now let's fix the blue and the green. Okay, so the easiest way for me to do that, there's probably a more clever way to do it, but I'm just gonna pull the green out and put it in a edge spot. And then I'll move it over to the blue and I'll put it where the blue is. Okay, so now it's in an edge slot. And then, oh, and interestingly, I have also pulled the gray out. So I actually don't understand completely why that happens. But for now, I'm going to put this green here. All right. And so now the blue goes there, and I'm going to put the blue here. Okay. So now we have blue and green opposite and hopefully swapped. And so now we need to put this silver back in the right place. And I assert that it goes right there. Therefore, I'm going to do the insertion. Just like this. Okay. Now, are we correct? Hopefully. Let's see. Yes. Purple, gray, silver, whatever. Green. Good. Okay, all the centers are in the right place. So now the thing that I want to do next is probably twist these edges because they're confusing if we, I don't know. I like to not have them twisted. So I'm just going to use my gray center here temporarily to twist this edge. And it is possible to twist two edges at once. The problem is right now, every time I try to do that, I break it. I don't do it right. So instead, I'm going to do them one at a time, just like I do during a normal solve. Okay, so that one's good. So let's fix this one. Just take this guy down, over, up, turn it, down, over, back up. Oh, look, my middle slice around here has all the edges in the right place. All right, I'm just going to reorient a little bit. Put this guy here. And now we'll use our pink center to rotate these guys. All right. Same thing. Bring that down. Okay. So now we've got cube shape again. And so it should be possible to solve. Now at this point, it's really just a 3x3, right? We can fix that. Looks like parity, right? But it's not. We won't know whether it's parity until, well, later. So let's assume that guy's flipped and do this one. That is, yes. So we have the parity situation. Hooray. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and twist this guy. now we have these two switched. Okay. So that is essentially the same thing as having these two switched. So what we'll do is we're going to take now and we're going to go around this perimeter here, and we're going to make every one of these guys move either to the left one or to the right one. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll start by pulling out this center. We're going to do lots of edge insertions. Yay. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll put him here. Okay. Gosh darn it. Okay, now he's there. Now we'll take this guy and we'll put him there. Okay, and he'll go down like that. Maybe. Yay. Okay. And now we'll take this guy and we'll put him here. Yeah, gotta get my head out of the frame. Okay, so like that. This is a very tedious operation, but if you do it right, it just gets done correctly. Okay, so now we'll put this one here. And if you do it this way, the way I'm doing it, then it should leave much of the cube intact, right? Okay, now we'll put this one right here. Okay. And now we're going to put what did I do? Right. No. Is that right? Yep, that's right. And then we're going to put this guy here. And then our last one of these goes here. Nope. There we go. All right. Now, we still have probably a twisted, looks like a twisted corner, but we should be able to solve this guy now. So let's go ahead and so now we're back to this guy again, and we have these. Great. Okay. And oh, that's it. All we need to do is flip this guy. And I still keep getting my head in there. So what I want to do is put that guy over there, pull him down, pull him over. Seriously? There we go. Turn it around. There's actually another way to rotate something 180 degrees. And the thing is I don't remember. I never can remember it. I think it's like sexy like 5 times or something, but I always forget. And so I just do it the way I know how. That was a little chaotic. This thing is, like I said in the review, it's really catchy and it's easy to get lost in the middle of doing something because you get an 8th turn, but you'll notice as you turn, when you turn these layers, if you don't hold them carefully, then you'll accidentally, like this is worse, right? Like, I don't like that. I wish it didn't do that, but there's not much you can do about that. In any case, you just have to be careful, and you don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, it won't work. And there you have it. That's your walkthrough solve. Hopefully this was pretty clear and somewhat helpful. If you have any questions about what I did, or if something wasn't clear or whatever, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to address it. So I guess that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Cheers.